It's been a high-voltage campaign rife with controversies, bribes and appeasement politics. That's how the battle for Karnataka has been for the past 3 months. But the big day is here, and more than 4.96 crore voters in the state will cast their ballot today to elect a new assembly in what is a three-cornered contest. Now, the ruling Congress and BJP are the main contenders for power, while former Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda's JDS could play the kingmaker according to most surveys as well as opinion polls. Polling is being held in 222 constituencies, and security has been beefed up with 3.5 lakh security personnel deployed across the state. Let's go across to my colleague Shrija, who's joining us at this point. Shrija, which constituency are you in currently? And take us through the kind of voter turnout that you're seeing. We understand it's about 24% voter turnout as of 11 a.m.
Well, before that, I would like to give you an update on the voter turnout. Now, as far as the Election Commission is concerned, they are telling that the trend is so much better than 2013, which means they have done enough of campaign and promotion amongst the voters here across Karnataka. And as far as the Bengaluru is concerned, we understand the urban number stands at 17%. This is as far as the Election Commission is concerned. The overall, if you're really looking at it, stands at least at 24%, and the highest has been recorded at Dakshin Kannada, which is 31%. So if you're really looking at this particular trend, which is so much better as compared to 2013 elections. Now, like you pointed out, the constituency where I'm standing right now is especially the Shivaji Nagar constituency. Here you have the Congress, in fact, candidate, Roshan Beg, and then you also have JDS Sheikh Mastan Ali, and from the BJP you have, in fact, Katta Subramania Naidu. Now, these are some of the main prominent contenders from this very constituency, and we must also understand the maximum voters that we are talking about as far as your contenders and candidates are concerned, where they try and capitalize on caste politics, is maximum voters are Muslims in this particular area, because at least 90%, if you're really looking at the demographics of as far as the Shivaji Nagar constituency is concerned, it at least stands at 90% of the voters come in especially from the Muslim population. The rest of the 10% comes in especially from the slum.
Well, let's also go across to Amita, who's joining us from Shivamogga at this point. Amita, as far as you're concerned, what's the kind of turnout that you've been seeing since polling started at about 7 a.m.? We understand that there have been long lines and people have come out in large numbers to vote.
Well, absolutely. People are coming in to cast their vote, and like Shrija pointed out, overall voter turnout is about 24%. In Shivamogga alone, it is about 24%. Highest is recorded in Dakshin Kannada with over 30% voter turnout. And at this point in time, in Shivamogga district, we are in Soraba constituency, where a lot of people are now slowly starting to come out to cast their vote, because there is time only till 6 p.m. It started, of course, at 7 a.m. where we saw Yadurappa, or BJP CM candidate, cast his first vote in Shikaripura constituency, where he will be contesting from right now. In Soraba constituency, it is a battle of brothers, really, who actors turned politicians, Kumar Bangarappa and Madhu Bangarappa from the JDS and the BJP, who are going to be contesting here. Ravi, of course, from Congress party is also going to be contesting from Soraba constituency. We have a voter here. Let's find out how long she's been voting for and what her issues are with the constituency. Madam, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ನೀವು ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತಿ 10 ವರ್ಷನ ಅದನವ.
ಯಾಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಯಾಕೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅದು?
ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾರು ಹಕ್ಕು ಸಿಗೋದು, ಏನಾರು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಮುಂದೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮುಂದಿನ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ?
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಏನೋ ರೋಡ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸೊರಬ ತಾಲೂಕು ಅಂತ ಹಿಂದೆ ಉಳಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟದೆ, ಮುಂದಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
So people really saying that in Shikaripura, of course, we've seen infrastructure develop, but beyond that, towards Soraba constituency, there's a lot of infrastructure problem. We've been talking to a lot of voters through the day here in Soraba who are saying that roads, for instance, have to be fixed. So basic civic amenities is what voters are really asking for from the upcoming government.
Absolutely. Now, Shrija, as far as the campaign itself is concerned, this is perhaps the first time that we've seen a host of national leaders come down and campaign in the state, extended campaigns, that too, you know, is Prime Minister himself and, of course, Rahul Gandhi as well coming down, showing how important really it is for at least both the parties.
Well, it was quite important for both the parties. The major parties that we're talking about here is the Congress and the BJP, like I pointed out earlier as well, considering the fact now BJP, they're also talking about the BJP wave over here across Karnataka, because remember, this is the very first time that they're trying too hard to make inroads into southern India. But that apart, it is very imperative for the Congress to remain in power, considering the fact that Karnataka is one of the very few states that has Congress in power. So you can see it's a very fierce battle as far as the BJP as well as the Congress is concerned. There were also talks about how they're going to combine forces, especially with the JDS. Now that remains to be seen. We will have to wait and watch how this is going to pan out. But that apart, the campaign, like you pointed out, we did of course see a number of road shows were held, especially by some of the union ministers. They had come down from the north. They had come down all the way to Karnataka to campaign for Yediyurappa and other ministers as well. So they are trying to, apart from your regular door-to-door campaign, they also try to tap especially on some of the new technology that we're looking at is your war room and also the social media. So there are various things that they have tried to tap on and also to gauge in the mood of especially the voters.
Right. Let's also listen in to some of the reactions that have come in from the BJP.
In the polling station where I have to vote, there is a problem in EVM machine, but I have not received much complaints. In few, it is a machinery arrangement. Ultimately it is a mechanical arrangement, and in such cases, things are bound to happen. I don't want to make it a big issue, but they have to rectify it immediately, and need so they have to extend the time wherever the delay has happened because of a problem in the EVM machines. And here also I think it has already started and it will be taken, they have assured that it will be taken care of.
Today morning I got call from so many booths that machine is not working and 45 minutes late and 1 hour late is there. So they have to extend the time, but one should take care about when people are put in a queue in a morning 6:30, 7 o'clock, they waited for the 1 hour. That is wrong. So I insist the election commission, please look into all this, what is happening, what the loopholes is there. It has to be cured as early as possible and precaution has to be taken. And in one booth here, I examined that two ballot boxes are there. But serial number 1, 2, 3, one box, and serial number others another box after 15. But it is kept first, last numbers, it is kept first. It is wrong, completely wrong. It confuses the people. I told the RO, then immediately they corrected it.
Also listening to some of the reactions coming in from the Congress.
The Congress party has fared well. It is not only the day or 6 months before the election. We have started the election from the day we won the party on May 13th of 2013 when we formed the government. From the day one, we are looking at our next polls. This is what we have done in Karnataka. And I'm confident that we will reach a magic number nearly 132 is what we have expected. But without anyone's support, we are going to form the government.
Karnataka is concerned, it is not like any other states in the northern India, where absolutely we are for peace and harmony. and the development. And I think people have rejected all kinds of slogans, all kind of provocative issues, but they have peacefully, the elections were over. There was no untoward incident throughout the state, and people will come out in large and vote. Well, we are going to form the government. We'll get an absolute majority.
All right, well, those are some reactions coming in, but let's go back to Amita, who is still with us. Amita, as far as the Election Commission is concerned, they've done a lot to ensure that voters come out and vote, encouraging people, whether it's getting on board youth icons or ensuring that voting booths are accessible to even the specially abled.
Well, absolutely. In fact, in every polling booth, we've seen that kind of facility come in. We spoke to a couple of people who are very enthused with the fact that they were specially taken inside if they were disabled and made to vote. We've also seen pink booths in every constituency, something that the Election Commission came up with to increase women voter turnout. We know that generally, especially in the 2013 Assembly elections, the voter turnout was very low, especially in Bengaluru. We've also seen how youth icons were roped in just days before the elections actually happened. We saw several actors who have massive social media following come out and support this initiative by the Election Commission. Currently, we are in Soraba constituency of Shimoga district here in central Karnataka. We have a couple of people who've just voted and come out. Let's talk to them and find out how the experience overall was. Neev ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ನನಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಯಾತಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಮುಂದೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಹಿಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ಬೆಳೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
So he's really talking about how good governance is important, which is why they need to vote. We'll talk to women as well. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪಿಂಕ್ ಬೂತ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಪಿಂಕ್ ಬೂತ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿಲಿ. ನಿಮ್ದು ಏನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ? ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಹೊಸ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಇದು.
ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮೇಡಮ್. ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ ನಾನೊಬ್ಳು ಟೀಚರ್, ನಾನು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸರಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಆದರೆ ಈ ಬೂತಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಇದೇ ಫಸ್ಟು. ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಏನು ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಉತ್ತಮ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಂದು ಒಂದು ವೋಟ್ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಮನೇಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪಾಪ ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈಗ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಟ್ಟು.
She says, of course, that she's a teacher and this is a process that she goes through every year, but currently because of Pink Boot, she's extremely happy with that. ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಸಲ ಆಗೈತೆ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಅಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ದು ಏನ್ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಇದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೋ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊರಬದಲ್ಲಿ?
ಈ ಸೊರಬದಾಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಮನೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಗ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು.
So people really talking about how unemployment, for instance, she spoke about how she wants her daughter to get a job, she wants a home to live.
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन भी खराब होता है. हमारा संविधान कितना भी अच्छा हो, अगर चलाने वाले लोग अगर अच्छे नहीं होते तो वो भी बुरा होता है. इसीलिए हमारी ड्यूटी ये है अपने हर काम को छोड़ के वोट डालना. इसीलिए मैं 50 साल से एक ही जगह से वोट डाल रहा हूँ. हालांकि मैं घर बदल दिया, लेकिन हमारा जो दिल है यही है. इसीलिए मैं कोई की एमपी चुनाव, एमएलए चुनाव, कोई भी चुनाव हो, यहाँ आकर मतदान करता हूँ और घर के लोगों को लाकर यहाँ पर मतदान कराता हूँ. इसीलिए मेरा अपील है सारे लोगों से कि वो वोट करें. कुछ भी काम रहे 6 बजे के अंदर आकर अपना अमूल्य वोट दे दे. यही हमारी एक अपील है.
That was Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress. Let's go back. Amita, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, we were talking to people. One of the biggest problems that they spoke about was infrastructure here. Beyond Shikaripura, they said, in Soraba constituency, infrastructure is one of the biggest problems that they want addressed by the next government. The other problem, of course, that we have covered this in pre-elections as well. In the whole of Malenad region, there are several people awaiting title deeds. One of the women spoke about how she wanted a home, for instance, her own home to live in. The third most important thing is unemployment. employment. She also spoke about how she wants a job for her daughter, something that we've seen across the state of Karnataka, and several villages, several people waiting for jobs, wanting to get jobs, but they can't because they can't move to Bangalore. It's not a viable option. So these are the main issues, especially here in central Karnataka, that people are really talking about.
Right. Well, thanks, Amita, for getting us all those voices as well. Shrija, coming to you now, you know, when we talk about urban voters, we often see that comparatively the urban population comes out less as compared to what we see in some of the interior areas. What's the sense that you've been getting from across Bengaluru at this point in terms of voters actually coming out to vote? We know that voters have been coming out in big numbers. And also, as far as the concerns that they have, how different is it from what people in the interiors of Karnataka actually want?
Well, the crowd has already started to trickle in right now, because this constituency where I am standing in here is the Shivajinagar constituency. But as if you're really comparing it with other constituency, we haven't really seen much of the people here. But like you pointed out by saying that the urban crowd, that's exactly the reason why we understand Karnataka government has declared a holiday. This is the private companies have also declared, but looks like they will turn out through, that is by the end of the day, because remember it is until 6 p.m. But to talk about the issues, we did just talk to a couple of them who cast their votes. All that they're talking about is a change that they're looking at, especially in their constituency, be it women's safety or even for that matter infrastructure. Now these are some of the concerns that have remained on their priority list, but all that they're talking about is that they are in fact they have been voting for over 5 to 6 years, and they will continue to do so, because all that they're looking at and hoping for a different thing to happen within their constituency.
Right. And Shrija, you said in the constituency where you are in at this point has not seen too many voters really come out. Within the city of Bengaluru, where have you seen the highest concentration of voters, and which constituencies have not seen, at least thus far?
Well, so far, Bengaluru Urban has recorded at least about 17% of the voter turnout. And if you're really looking at the highest, stands at Govindrajnagar. Now, that is a particular constituency where we are talking about, where we have seen a number of people. In fact, they were waiting, standing in queues also. That apart, just a couple of hours ago, we did also show you in BTM layout. That's another constituency where we saw even in that very polling station, we also had the pink polling booths. But we could see at least 3 queues. In fact, people waiting in at least 3 queues moving, and there was so much crowd within that particular constituency. So it also depends upon the kind of interest that people takes in, and also most importantly their availability, because remember, like I pointed out by saying that the polling will continue until 6 p.m. So as far as this constituency is concerned, we haven't really seen anything of this. But we also talking about another particular constituency, even Shantinagar. We just saw a couple of them just turning out, but BTM layout as well as Govindrajnagar was the highest that what we saw.
All right. Well, thanks, Shrija and Amita, for getting us all of that. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you.